Educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier is our mission, so let's begin. This is episode number 99 of the Life, Strength, and Health podcast. Kim here. Thank you for joining us this week. I cannot believe we are one episode away from episode 100. Just a little recap of what has been going on. We have not been posting regularly our weekly episodes, and we do apologize. I am in the process of remodeling my office. I actually moved my office space to a larger room with some windows. And I had to paint, and I had this vision of one of the things that I love. I love the summertime. I love the sun. I love the heat. You know, I can't get enough sun. And so that is the theme that I wanted to have in my office. And the first two colors that I picked, you know, they weren't quite the right fit. And actually, I can laugh about it now. But I was about 80% of the way done with painting my office for the first time. And I came into the office on Saturday, and Jamal and our office assistant, Olivia, were in my office, and they were trying to tell me nicely and in so many words that they didn't feel that the colors I chose was a great fit. It didn't represent me. It didn't feel like me, and it didn't feel like what I wanted to, I wanted the feeling of my office to be. I wanted to be like of sun, of the summertime, of the beach, that kind of feel. And I went to yellow, and it was funny. We can laugh about it now, but I was a little tight. I was a little resistant to taking the feedback. But, you know, in order to grow and to learn, and if you trust the people around you, sometimes you have to let that guard down and be open to hearing what they want to share, because a lot of times the people that care about you only have your well-being at heart. So I'm so happy that I did take the advice. I switched up the colors, and I really love my office. I'm still in the process of decorating it, but it's functional now, and I truly love the feel of my office. It makes me feel happy, and then I'm in a happy place, and it's very inspiring for me to do the work that I need to do to serve you. So that is the main reason why there was no episode last week. I had no place to record, but as I mentioned, I'm back up to being functional, and I'm so grateful for that, because it was a little frustrating not to be able to do the work that I need to do, or, you know, not work efficiently. So I am back up and running and moving forward, and we will be back on track with our episodes. And the next episode is episode 100. So stay tuned for that. And we will have a special guest joining us for that episode next week. And just a little update on the new website. We're so close. We're knocking at the door. Just need to finalize the videos and photos to put that on the site. But I am looking forward to releasing the new site. I'm looking forward to some additional changes that we'll be doing moving forward with the new rebranding, our new message that I will be sharing, our new mission. And I'll be sharing that in the upcoming episodes, just getting more clear on what we do and how we help people, because this is our life's work. And the clearer that we are with our message, the more people we can attract and can help. And that's what this work is all about. So in this episode number 99, I was inspired to share a message that I feel can be really beneficial and helpful. It's an affirmation or a model that I'm going to start really reminding myself and saying to myself, and it's going to be something that I'm going to put into my office so that this message is visible in front of me. And this message was inspired by a book that I'm currently reading for the second time. And it's a book called Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And the actual title of the book is Daring Greatly: How the Courage to be Vulnerable Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead. And I'll put that book in the show notes pages. I recommend that book to anyone who wants to transform their lives. And, the book has so much great information. But the foundation of the book is how shame affects us in our lives from childhood all the way into adulthood, into relationships with your partner, with your children, with your friends, how shame can be that, that starting point of making poor choices or having poor relationships and really struggling in life and not finding your way. And one of the things that shame can do to you is make you feel inadequate or not worthy of great things in life. And one of the things that Brene Brown talks about is that we are enough. We are enough. And a lot of times the choices that we make in life, whether it's poor eating choices, poor relationships in terms of meeting a mate, having maybe not the best relationship with your children, a lot of this can stem from you not feeling like you're enough. A lot of times in society, we are a society based on accomplishments or reaching a goal. So I'll be enough when I make a certain amount of money. I'll be enough when my child graduates from college. I'll be enough when I get that promotion. I'll be enough when I lose 100 pounds. I'll be enough if I finish this detox. I'll be enough. And instead of just being enough where you are and then adding on to that by doing, achieving your goals and striving towards things that you want to accomplish, we let the goal determine our value. We let our accomplishments determine our value. But the money that we have, the relationship that we have, the items that we own, they do not make up who we are. We are enough in our own skin. We are powerful beyond measure. And a lot of times we tag the importance of who we are with our accomplishments, with how we're viewed in society, what our parents think, what our husband thinks, what our boss thinks. And in actuality, that stuff, it does matter to us, but in the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't, because it's all about being okay with yourself. When you are alone by yourself, there's no one there. Are you happy? Do you feel like you're enough? And if you don't feel that way, that's okay. It's not about judgment, but it's about being truthful and figuring out, why do you feel inadequate? And in this book, it ties it back to things that happened in our childhood. These stories that we play in our mind, some of the things that we think about in our minds, if we said it out loud, first of all, we would never say it to anyone, right? But some of the things that we say to ourselves is so harmful, so negative, so mean. And these are thoughts that are rolling around in our minds on a constant basis. So what is this conversation? What is a conversation that we have going on in our mind? Because that is the starting point of maybe why we don't strive for things that we're uncomfortable with. Why do we avoid being vulnerable? And a lot of times it's because of hurt or shame that we experienced in the past that causes us to put up a roadblock, so we don't want to feel that pain again. But feeling is necessary in life. And sometimes the good happens and sometimes the bad. And in this book of Daring Greatly, it's about learning how to be vulnerable. You have to have courage to be vulnerable in order to be your best self. And a lot of times shame and things that we've experienced in the past that we're holding on to and telling ourselves these lies and stories that are not even true, how these stories are hindering us and keeping us back and making us feel inadequate. And the first step is to realize that you are enough as you are. You don't have to wait in terms of health to reverse your imbalance, to lose weight, to clear up your skin, to lose your gut. That doesn't define who you are. That's just aspects of yourself that you want to address because you want to live your best self, but you are enough as you are. If you start a program and you fall off, I don't care if you fall off 5, 10, 20 times, you're still enough with who you are. The only difference is you had the courage to try and let's learn from your mistakes and course correct. But you are enough as you are. So many times we wrap up our happiness in external things. But what we have to learn to be happy with the skin that we're in and truly be grateful for the vehicle that we have and know that we can improve upon it. But the starting point has to be that we realize that we are enough. We are enough as we are. On this journey of realizing that we are enough is guarding our thoughts, being mindful of our thoughts. And, not saying that we don't go through life with negative thoughts or negative emotions, because that's the balance. We need that. But if you're in a constant state of negativity, of feeling inadequate, as I mentioned, that is so detrimental because you're not going to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to open up and to have that human connection, because it's going to be a hindrance. So one of the things that Brene discusses in this book of Daring Greatly is that when you have those feelings of an inadequacy, or you're feeling that you're blocking yourself from being vulnerable, or you having these feelings, you immediately turn to gratitude. In that moment, do whatever you have to do, clap your hands, snapping yourself out of that moment, and just start thinking of things that you're grateful for, because gratitude and lack cannot exist in the same space. And so, you always hear people say, do your gratitude prayer, do a gratitude journal, because when you remind yourself what you're grateful for, and we all have something to be grateful for, it takes your mind off of the lack and the void, and it focuses on high vibrational stuff, abundance, things that you are happy with, because like attracts like, right? The things that you focus on is where energy is going to flow. So if you're always focusing on the negative, of the lack, of I'm inadequate, I'm not enough, then that's what you're going to keep drawing into your life. So when you find yourself going down that slippery slope of negative thoughts, you want to pull yourself out and think about the things that you're grateful for, whether it's large or small. Another thing that helps with realizing and truly believing and living in that energy of I am enough is human connection. So many times when we go through things, a lot of times we tend to isolate ourselves because we may be embarrassed. We're very self-conscious. We're afraid of what people will think about of what we're experiencing. And I honestly can say that I am guilty of this as well. The type of person that I am, I do need to recharge in isolation. But there's a difference between kind of retreating to isolation to rejuvenate and retreating away because you want to avoid someone or you don't want to really talk about what you're going through. And I've come a long way with that. And it definitely helps to have a partner or a husband that you can communicate with, or someone. But that human connection is what is necessary. When you have someone that you trust and that you have that relationship with, whether it's a friend or a mate or just someone in your life that you can discuss your feelings with, that is so important, because you have to release these things. You cannot hold on, because when you hold on to things, all of a sudden you can start creating all kinds of variations of the story that is really not true. But if you keep it in your own mind, you can take it and run with it and build up that wall even more and feel less than even more. And part of our mission at Life, Strength, and Health is to help people on their journey of being their best selves. And we do through the vehicle of healthy living and holistic lifestyle. But a lot of our clients that come into us, we touch on the emotional aspect, because emotions are the seedlings for sickness. most illnesses starts from an emotional vibration. And even though we are helping you to live healthier and to eat healthier, we get down to the root of the cause of why you may be making poor choices. And so it's all about getting to the root of the problem to address the imbalance. And talking with people, having that human connection and interaction with a girlfriend, with your best friend, with someone that can have that lending ear. And maybe they don't even have the solution for you, but sometimes just getting stuff off your chest can help. And I'm not talking about just dumping on someone just to get it off your chest. It has to be someone who you trust, who you have that type of relationship with. And look, whether you go to therapy or not, just someone, there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist. And if that is what you need, then you do it. Because the voice and that message in your head has to be of serving you, of helping you to stand in your power and to be your best self. And if that message in your head isn't, then you want to work with all your might and continually work on having that message tell you so you know and you feel that you are enough, because you truly are. We are all enough. We are all brought into this world as enough. And unfortunately, these are life lessons that we have to go through. We have negative experiences. And as I mentioned, a lot of times from our childhood that we still feel the same pain with, right? That if we look back and reflect, there may be pain and embarrassment, or just a negative experience from your parents, or not feeling loved or feeling neglected, or what have you, that we carry this story with us until adulthood. And these experiences are causing us to make poor choices, or are not allowing us to make the proper choices. So it's about getting in and doing that self-work to really believe and know that you are enough. So I wanted to share this message with you. As I mentioned, the book, make sure that you check it out. And I'm also going to list a link. We have partnered up with Audible, and you can get a one free Audible book and a trial. And if, you're not happy with the Audible service, you can cancel it before the 30 days are up, but you still get to keep that free Audible book. So I'm going to put that in the show notes as well, and make sure you listen to it. I am a big fan of Audible books. I'm a person who has a podcast, who listens to a lot of podcasts, and I used to read a lot of books earlier on, but after having Sora, I'm running here and there. I don't have a lot of time to sit and read. I still do, but I do listen to a lot of Audible books. And I guess I just started this year with Audible, and I think I've listened to 10 books already. So, check it out. If you are someone who wants to read more, but just cannot find that time, you can do it on a commute. You can do it while you're cooking, cleaning, just like you listen to this podcast. So I'm also going to put that link in the show notes as well. Okay. So hopefully this message has touched you, has helped you in some shape, form, or fashion. And if you know of anyone that this message would serve, please share it with them, because really we are enough. It's really about living our best selves. It's really about getting the lessons and continues to grow and be better. And we all deserve to be happy and fulfilled, and to realize that we are enough. Okay. So thank you once again for listening. For access to the show notes pages, just go to lifestrengthandhealth.com/99. Stay tuned for episode 100. Okay. And until next time, live healthier. We want to say thank you for listening to the show and for access to the show notes pages, more podcast episodes, blog content, as well as more information about our center, Life Strength and Health. Then just visit us at lifestrengthandhealth.com. Until next time, live healthier.